Tonight, we bring to you our recaps for a wild first week in the NFL. On opening night, a statement victory by the Bills over the Super Bowl champion Rams. On Sunday, total domination by Kansas City against Arizona as Patrick Mahomes throws 5 touchdowns. Minnesota gets a divisional victory against Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers. In the pouring rain in Chicago, the Bears survive San Francisco. In overtime, Pittsburgh shocks Cincinnati as the Steelers defense picks off Joe Burrow 4 times. On Sunday Night Football, Tom Brady and the Buccaneers beat Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. Late stages in the fourth quarter, Prescott went out with a hand injury. He needs surgery. He is out for multiple weeks. It is that time, sports fans. It's showtime. From the gridiron to the court, talking all that is sport. Everything a busted up a nation, bring to you our Nation Sports Show. Here are your hosts, Ezra Vickery, Joey Thornton, Kevin Rory, Randy Guy, and Stephen Wyand.
All right, here we go. All right, everybody's here. We're all good. All right, here we go. Our Nation Sports Show is live. You wanted the best? Well, they're here, so you get us instead. But we're here. We're live. We're here with you all. Thank you so much for joining us. It is time to talk some sports as usual. I am Ezra Vickery, and we are here live. And, man, dude, we got a lot to get into after a wild week 1 in the NFL. And we're definitely going to get into that and, of course, our week 2 predictions. But, of course, we got to get into the ways you can follow us first. Of course, you can follow us here live on YouTube at youtube.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Follow us there. Like, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And, of course, you can follow us on Twitter at twitter.com/ON_sports show, facebook.com/Our Nation Sports Show, and Instagram.com/Our Nation Sports Show. Don't forget to follow the Nation's Corner as well, our sister program, all about professional wrestling. You can watch them on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific time. And, of course, we're going to cover the week in wrestling, including everything from Dynamite, Raw, SmackDown, NXT, Rampage, whatever you want. They'll cover it. And, of course, Bishop Pro as well. And also, don't forget to also like Too Sweet Cosplay at Too Sweet Cosplay across all socials. We'll see you guys next time. You'll see some of the crew will probably be at the Nick Gage Invitational. That'll be November 14th for GCW. Tickets on sale for that on the 16th, which is Friday. Get tickets for that, of course, at eventbrite.com. But enough of my spiels and enough of plugging shit that I don't get paid for, because I don't get paid for any of this shit anyways. And if I did, I wouldn't be. I'd be on like Sean Ross Sapp's show probably. But enough about that. We got a lot to get into, and we got a wild crew here. Of course, Randy, unfortunately, is not going to join us. He has other commitments tonight, but he will be back with us next week as usual. With us tonight, though, we got our buddy here sporting his special made Washington Commander and Alabama shirt. Roll Tide and go Commanders. Ladies and gentlemen, Joey Thornton is here. What's up, Joey?
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having an amazing Tuesday. I'll tell you what, it was a great NFL week 1. I'm ready to talk some NFL action. And as a little bonus tonight, I'm on my brand new laptop instead of my phone tonight. So let's go.
Absolutely. It looks good, man. Looks good. But we got with us another guy here. Of course, me and him had a little bit of a thing this week with our two teams, the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers, and what a game it was. It was a good game in the pouring rain and in Soldier Field, and we'll get to that in a few minutes, but he's with us today. His team looking to bounce back this week against the Seattle Sea Chickens. We'll see how that goes. The one and only Kevin Rory. What's up, man?
What's going on, everybody? Hope everybody's having a good Tuesday and not too hungover from week 1 football. And yeah, you're right, Ezra. It was a messy one, and I don't know what held more water, my pillow and my tears, or Soldier Field in Chicago from all that rain. But hopefully we'll bounce back and we'll discuss that. And let's go.
Absolutely. It's going to be interesting this week coming up. Week 2, of course. Most of us in this room won, except for if you're in the NFC East and you didn't win shit. At least we scored a touchdown, unlike one other team in the NFC East that didn't. Hey, we won't say who.
At least not yet.
At least not yet. I'm not talking about your team. Talking about the other team whose logo is a star. But anyways, our final guy in the show is the matriarch of this motherfucking show. This man is less problematic than the iOS 16 update for your phone. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome heavy metal brother from NorCat Galactic, the one, the only, Big Stevie Wyand. Steven, what's up, man?
Speaking of being less problematic, I'm also less problematic than like the idiotic head coach in the Denver Broncos. Oh my God, Nathaniel Hackett, you idiot! Oh my dear God, we're gonna get into that madness from this past month, from last night on Monday Night Football, and also the madness of week 1 in the NFL. And if you thought that the NFL wasn't crazy already, it's even crazier now, because week 1 was just complete crazy with some close games, some shocking defeats, and yes, even a tie for week 1. And also our favorite thing to talk about is our favorite Atlanta team down there in Georgia, the Falcons, once again blowing another lead and game. Good riddance, Atlanta. And also a certain team down in the Lone Star State in Texas that we're going to get into as well. And sorry about their damn luck. But anyways, let's go.
Yes. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to actually slip real quick before we get into the football talk. We're going to get into the NBA news that broke today. That is big news. And that is that
huge.
The owner or one of the Suns principal owners, not principal owners, but one of the Suns' big shots, Robert Sarver, has been suspended for 1 year and fined $10 million for misogynistic and racist allegations against him, including using the N-word with other people in his organization. He was under an investigation for a while from the NBA, and now the findings have come out and the punishment has come out, where he will be suspended for 1 full year and cannot participate in any activities involved, including being at the stadium or any sort of related activities. And his $10 million will be donated to organizations that deal with compassion and respect in the workplace. So, but yeah, that's the big news story right there. And also, real quick, since I kind of want to get to the football as early as possible, because this is going to be a long discussion, I know that for a fact. And this one, of course, is big, and that is that Montrezl Harrell has officially inked his 2-year deal with the Philadelphia 76ers, including a player option today. He has officially signed his agreement with the team. It's worth $5.2 million over 2 years with a player option for the second year. So I wanted to get those quick little news stories out. You guys want to make any comments on any of this stuff before we move on to the NFL real quick?
I would say, for one thing, excuse me, but if you're going to be a president of a team organization, then it's pretty much your main job to create a non-toxic environment. I mean, how many times have we seen sports owners and sports presidents go under some sort of investigation for unsafe work practices or violated some sort of work hazard or something like that. I mean, we see it all the time. So I mean, bottom line, if you're gonna own or co-own an organization, create a safe work environment and leave the toxicity out. It's plain and simple, y'all. It's not rocket science.
I was gonna say the Carolina Panthers are a toxic environment. They don't even have to worry about the racist comments.
Man,
But we'll get into that when we get to the NFL. Anybody else want to make any comments on this before we move on? Steven, you there, buddy?
Yep. It's very unfortunate, you know, how, and it's very despicable for this owner to do what he did. I mean, like, you have to watch yourself in this day and age because you never know. Somebody might be recording you and putting you on blast and catching you in the act and stuff, and just, he deserves whatever he gets out of this. I mean, like, it is like, come on. I mean, be respectful for other people, and, you know, and don't use any kind of racist, derogatory remarks to people. Like, grow up. That's all I got to say.
Absolutely. Kevin, you got anything you want to say about that before we move on?
Just an idiot, man. You just gotta be responsible, man. Don't act like an idiot. Don't be a knucklehead. That's basically it.
Yeah, him and John Gruden can room together.
Right?
Yeah.
Hey,
Perfect couple.
Here's something even better. Him and John Gruden can room together, and they can get entertainment out of Urban Meyer.
Now there's a guy who can't keep his mouth shut.
Now here's a guy.
Oh, man. All right, I just wanted to get into those two quick things I saw at NBA.com real quick, but we got a lot to talk about in the NFL, boys. And this is probably going to take up, I would say, about 95.999% of the show. So, one other thing. Greece was eliminated from the Eurobasket tournament today, and Giannis was ejected from the game today.
Dang.
Wow.
Real quick, what did he get ejected for? Let's see. He picked up 2 unsportsmanlike conduct fouls. So, yep. That's what happened. But let's move on. We got a lot to talk about. Of course, we had a Thursday night football game. The Rams lasted about as long as Ozzy's halftime performance did.
Sharon!
And it was more real than Ozzy's performance was, according to Eddie Trunk. But yeah, so that was, of course, 31-10. Bills absolutely destroying the Rams. That's what you call an ass whooping for sure.
Yes.
We had some tight games, some close games, some unbelievably close games. I mean, we got the Saints and the Falcons. Like you said, the Atlanta Falcons blew it again, 27-6 loss to the Saints. Excuse me. And then you got the Cleveland Browns beating the Carolina Panthers. Baker Mayfield's revenge was not exactly what he thought it was.
Baker finally throwing touchdowns to the Cleveland Browns. Just on the wrong.
Ouch.
Way to go, Baker.
I will say, going back to the Bills and Rams real quick. Who in the world taught Josh Allen had a stiff arm like King Henry or something? I mean, shoot.
Yeah, that corner needs to turn his equipment in first thing the next morning after letting him do that. Violating like that.
Oh, God.
All I'm saying is,
good Lord.
I know I seen a blowout coming. I had the Bills winning by 10. I believe 31-21 my score. I believe Josh Allen is him. I think that's your MVP this year. I think he's proved it. He had one bad decision that had a turnover. His other interception came off of hitting his receivers dead in the fucking hands, and he just popped it up.
Yep.
That shouldn't have been called. But how about the piss poor play by Matthew Stafford? If it wasn't Cooper Kupp, he was awful. If he ain't throwing the Cooper Kupp, he was pure terrible. And Charles Barkley's words, absolutely terrible. Terrible. And what makes
that offensive
so
line was bad too.
They were sacked 7 times, and the Bills did not blitz one time. So their front four got to Matt Stafford 7 times without a blitz. That's incredible. The Rams have problems up front, and it's not going to get better for them if they don't fix that O-line.
Absolutely. I do agree with that. Shout out to Big T in the chat once again joining us.
Sorry about your Panthers, bro.
Yeah,
Oh.
sorry about the Panthers, man. Definitely. And of course, the next game on that docket is the 49ers and the Bears.
Man,
And Justin Fields with a good comeback. Looking a little bit sloppy in that first half, but man, he came back storming with the Storms, of course, in Soldier Field, Chicago. Nasty weather that day. But they were able to make a comeback, and Justin Fields really showed his mettle and played very, very well in that second half. So
yep.
this is promise for my team in San Francisco. Man, they gave it to us in the first half, really, really showcased some stuff. But man, Trey Lance, he looks good. He does look good. He's just going to need time. He's going to need time. He's going to need more reps. And I feel like that kid is going to be the future one, maybe the future one day of the 49ers, as long as he can continue to progress.
And you know what? You said that right, Ezra. And my thing about this is, like we just said on the pre-show, when it's raining, I know the 49ers were predicted to be a top 4 NFC team, and the Bears are rebuilding. But when it's raining, you can throw the records out the window. It's like a rivalry game. It's who makes the less mistakes. And in that game, the Bears were more disciplined, even under new tenure and the new regime and new head coach. And I don't like to make excuses for my guys, but we fucked up. We just straight out fucked up. Like the first half, we played phenomenal on defense. They couldn't get nothing. The thing about it is, when you got third down and you stop Justin Fields and stop any momentum they had going, and you commit a dumb, boneheaded penalty to give them another first down. And just like Nick Bosa said, all it takes for any team in the National Football League is to give them second chance at life. If you do that, they'll come back and bite you in the ass, no matter where they are, no matter who's projected to win. And that's what happened. Face mask penalty. 3rd and 15, we stopped them. Would have been 4th and 10, got the ball back. Instead, face mask, 15 yards the first down. The very next play was that backyard touchdown, Hail Mary touchdown to Dante Pettis. And I was like, see what happens? Every time you give them a second chance of life, they take advantage. And I got to shout out, Justin Fields did a good job of taking advantage of his second chances. I think Justin Fields and Trey Lance, like I said before last week, that's your 2 best quarterbacks of that draft class last year. It's that simple. That's your 2 best quarterbacks right there.
And you know what, Kevin? I'll add to that as well when it comes to this game in Chicago with that bad weather. It doesn't matter if it's Trey Lance or Jimmy Garoppolo or Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. It doesn't matter. It does not matter who the quarterback is. It does not matter because of the weather. The weather can be very bad, and it can make you very human.
Yeah, because you got to think with the way it was raining, how slippery the ball was. Passes are going to be more difficult to execute. Kicks are going to be more difficult to lay on point because you're not only is the ball slippery, but your cleats are slippery. And those kickers, when they throw that kick, they got to have brace on that other foot when they kick.
Right.
It's hard to do when the ground is sopping wet with like 2 inches of water on it.
And same thing goes for snow. Because, like all the kickers that have had to kick in the snow, they say it's hard to kick because, no kidding. Because, all the snow that's on the ground, you got to get a good plant spot to plant your foot, and kick the ball and all that stuff. And I'm not going to pile on Trey Lance. Did he play bad? Yeah, he played bad, sure. But no surprise he played bad because of the weather. The weather affected his playing. So I'm not going to harp on him that bad, because, there were 49er fans that were, calling for him, going, dude, come on, get Garoppolo in there. He wouldn't have done that. Dude, come on, don't give me that.
But here's my thing, Steven, and this is not knocking Justin Fields. I love him to death.
Sure.
They had similar stats other than the touchdowns, which were blown coverages. Like you look at the numbers, Trey Lance threw for more yards and picked up more first downs and led the offense to like 320 something total yards compared to the Bears, like 190 or something like that. The problem was the national media changes this narrative because they want the drama with Jimmy G. They try to make it seem like, oh, Lance played down and Fields played up. Fields is the next Mahomes. Lance is. But they had similar stats. And I'm like, wait a minute. Other than the touchdowns, come on, man.
Yeah, each team had very similar stats. San Francisco led in both passing yards and rushing yards throughout the whole game. So, but it was overall, if you add up the yardage together on each one, it was pretty similar. But I'll say that much. I was checking the stats on the quarterbacks of each, and neither quarterback, I will say that much, really showed out. It was that neither quarterback showed out. Each one completed up near 50 or a little over 50% of their passes. Justin Fields only had 121 yards. He had 2 touchdowns, one interception. 40, and of course Trey Lance, he had 164 yards on 13 and 28 with no touchdowns and a pick. But yeah, you were saying your defense was stellar. Your defense was doing great, man. Your defense had especially Hufanga, who had 2 tackles for a loss.
I love him.
Nick Bosa had a tackle for a loss, and he was doing really, really good.
You know what really affected it though, Ezra? And I'll say this last thing. The 49ers defensively might as well say the whole team, their biggest strength is our pass rush. You know what's really affected by the weather? The pass rush. The reason why? It's so slippery. Bosa couldn't get a head start. He couldn't get a grip. I mean, that played in Chicago's favor. And I will say next week, though, against Seattle, look out. You got Nick Bosa in the sunny weather in sunny California. Might not look good for Geno Smith, a.k.a. Patrick Mahomes Jr.
Dude, we're gonna get to that game. We're gonna get to that game in just a few minutes, man. Once we get to it, it's gonna be a very good talking point on that front. It's gonna be crazy. The next game on the docket, of course, was the Steelers and the Bengals. Steelers won that one 23-20.
Man, that was a crazy game. I mean, like, that offensive line could not block to save their life. Burrow threw pick after pick after pick. And
four interceptions total.
And Cincinnati still had a chance to win the game if the backup snapper did not, have a bad snap on McPherson's kick, which got blocked, because the Bengals did everything right to win the game. I mean, Burrow threw the touchdown pass to Jamar Chase, and then after that, you're going, oh, it's over. And you got to kick the extra point. And McPherson missed it because it was blocked, and because of having that bad snap by the backup. And that just goes to show you that you have to have, quality people on the starting lineup and the backups to do good at snaps and all that stuff. And people take that stuff for granted. And then it goes to overtime. And I noticed something about overtime, guys. Like, when you look at overtime, it seems like the kickers get so afraid in the moment because they're going, oh, we can actually miss this kick, and because McPherson had an easy kick to win the game, and he missed it. And then Boswell missed his kick, and he's going, are you kidding me? And I'm like, oh boy, it's Seattle, Arizona all over again. Remember that crazy game from Sunday night back in 2015, 2014, something like that. Can't remember that far on some of those games. But I mean, listen, give credit to Pittsburgh's defense. I mean, they played a hell of a game, and hitting Burrow so many times, sacking him, 6 times. Burrow had the 4 picks. I mean, it just was not a good day at the office for Cincinnati. And I think you're going to get a pissed off Bengals team heading into week 2, and they're going to extract revenge on the Cowboys. Sorry, Dallas fans. But I mean, and Trubisky, he played all right, but he did all right. But the Steelers defense won them that game.
Yeah, definitely. Because Trubisky was only 21 for 38, 194 yards and a touchdown. Joe Burrow, despite losing that game, he had outside of the 4 picks, man, he had 338 yards on 33 of 53. And the real star of the game, though, on the Bengals side, Jamar Chase, 10 receptions, 129 yards, along with Joe Mixon, had 7 receptions for 63 yards. Yep. So definitely, that was a hell of a game. Joey, you got any thoughts?
It was a very well put together game. I mean, there's really only one way to play football when it comes to playing in the absolute downpour like that, and that's just the best that you can. The best that you can possibly play. And like y'all have said, the 49ers and the Bears left it all out on the field. So much respect to y'all. I'm sure San Francisco is going to improve over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully Chicago's on their way up. So,
and also, Joe, talking about, playing, like going back to the Bengals game. I mean, like like Burrow, like he had his moments, but it just goes to show you that they still had to clean up that offensive line, because like they did the right things in the offseason as far as drafting and signing free agents on that offensive line to boost their offensive line. But that offensive line did not look good against Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got to him multiple times.
You're right, Stephen, but let's also take into account, I hate Pittsburgh. I don't like them. I think they're a bad team, but TJ Watt might be the second best D lineman to Aaron Donald by far.
Agreed.
And he was a complete game wrecker. I don't care if you have anybody else in front of him. He's going to wreck the game. And his injury will affect Pittsburgh over the next 6 weeks. That's for sure. I don't think Pittsburgh's going to stay in that lead and keep up too much longer, especially if he's gone at least 6 games. That's tough for Pittsburgh. Cincinnati will be all right. They're having also the Super Bowl hangover that you have, as the losing team has. And if they come out and take some Excedrin and some Advil, they'll be all right. They'll get their heads back on and might throw a couple of touchdowns. I was impressed that Joe Burrow can turn the ball over 4 times and still have a chance hit the game time touchdown at the same time with zeros on the clock. I'm pretty impressed with that, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but anybody notice how big Joey's head is in this camera shot?
oh, hush, y'all.
He looks like fucking Zordon from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Man, fuck y'all.
Wow.
Oh, I love you, Joey. Oh, I had to say that. I couldn't resist. Okay, I lost my train
Your
of thought.
head is as big as Undertaker's 33-pound head.
Joey, you're fine with that camera shot.
At least you don't have any Mickey Mouse tattoos.
You look better than Randy since what he looks like we're up his nose. No, we're not trying to excavate for gold in your nostrils. Next game on the list was the one that shocked the hell out of me, and that was the Eagles and the Lions.
Oh, dude.
How fucking close was that? 38-35. Who would have expected the Lions to score 35 points?
Hey, to be fair, I did pick a 3-point game. I just thought it was like 24-21, not 38.
Kevin, you got it right theoretically, but come on.
I tell you what, I'm very impressed with the Lions. I tried to tell everybody the Lions are not that bad.
With the overall scores.
Very impressed with the Detroit Lions, and I'm impressed with the Eagles offensively.
I went to click on the stats for the game on NFL.com. It says there are currently no stats available. Please check it later.
You can't make this up.
And so far, that's the only game that has that problem.
They broke the stat sheet online. Tremendous. It's like Kevin's games on Madden back in the day.
a ton of points
to a ton of points. He threw for 700 yards, but it's not going to show 700 yards. When we go to 500, maybe 400, 300, but no, 700 to 1,000. Sorry, not going to show on the stat sheets. Oh my God, that is hilarious. We are sorry, but there are no sets for this game. Please check available afterwards. Thank you.
You know what? Here. I'll even. Steven, unfortunately, I know you can't see it right now.
Yeah.
I know you can't see it, but for Joey and Kevin in the room.
There are currently no stats for this game.
Oh my God.
Just for proof, Sally. People know I ain't bullshitting.
Oh my God.
That's kind of broken. Like I broke Madden the other night. I was fucking around and I laterally pitched the ball. The other team recovered the ball. I recovered it back on the same play. When I look up at the clock and down the distance, It said I was third down and negative 38. How the fuck do you get a third and negative 38?
Wait, Kevin, were you the Jets against the Dolphins again?
No, it was online. I was like beating somebody 35-0. I said, let me just fuck around and keep lateraling it. I got in charge with an illegal forward lateral. I'll get back and call another play, and it's 30 negative 38. I said, what is negative? What?
Okay.
Yeah, this game is broken, like the stats.
I had a glitch the other day. To go off topic here for a second, I had a glitch the other day playing the second. I think it was the second one, the second Spyro game. The second Spyro game, you're not supposed to have the supercharged flame where you shoot like fireball flames instead of just a straight up flame. Well, I started the game with the supercharge, and I thought, okay, maybe those will go away. It went the whole game where I had it. And it was a total glitch. I'm like, I even restarted the game. I went back in and it still had it. I'm like, well, son of a bitch.
Wow.
So, real quick. All right, the next game. You talked about ties in your intro, Steven. This is the game that had the tie. The Colts and the Texans, 2020. 2020. At the end of this game, man. 20-20. Colts and the Texans tie it up.
If there's one positive to this game from Matt Ryan, at least he was not on the Falcons this season to blow another game. But this time at least he didn't lose. A tie still sucks, but Matt Ryan,
and he didn't lose 23-8 either.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But they still had a chance to win the game, but they came up short. I mean, Houston was leading predominantly in this game, and then Matt Ryan and the Colts had to come back. And they tied the game, and they did. And then they got the ball in overtime, and they just, man, these kickers, man, missing all these field goals in overtime, and, in close games. And, and like, it sucks that the AFC South, didn't win. But hey, sometimes that's how the ball bounces and stuff. Yep.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Texas, Davis Mills had a pretty decent game. 23-37, 240 yards and 2 touchdowns. He had a good game. But so did Matt Ryan, man. Yes, he only had 1 touchdown and a pick, but he was 32 for 50 with 352 yards. Threw big that game. Jonathan Taylor had 31 carries for 161 yards. Michael Pittman had 9 catches for 121 yards and a touchdown. A lot of production.
But no
win.
win.
You know what? That's actually kind of concerns me because I'm not saying the Texans like completely are absolute New York Jets garbage, but you have yards rushing. Matt Ryan throws all this. Michael Pittman shows out, and you can only tie the Texans. Like, that's a utter disappointment to me. Like, come on, Colts. You were expected to be one of the top dogs of the AFC, and you're over there tying the Texans, and your best players are doing what they're doing. They're balling. You just, I don't know.
I live in Indiana, and I don't even fucking represent that team.
Good Lord. They
because you would be considered a horse's ass. I'm just saying.
They are the disappointment.
That's why I support blue and orange.
Exactly. But my biggest thing with this Colts team is now that puts them behind the 8 ball because some of us picked them to go to the playoffs, and now,
playoffs.
About
playoffs?
You kidding me? Playoffs? Jacksonville won't go to the playoffs and win a game.
Neither will Dallas. Oh
no, sorry, Dallas. But come on. The simple fact that you have all of this talent on the Colts, and the best you can do against a putrid Texan team is tie them. You can't even take them out. When you have the chance. Come on.
Come on, man. Let me just put things in perspective right now. The Texans are first in the AFC South with 0-1 record. They are first in the AFC South. Not second, not third, first over the Titans. What? I know it's one week, but come on, man. Come on.
Joey, you got anything to say about this shit?
No, I think Kevin pretty much hit the nail on the coffin.
There you
Oh
go.
dear God! I mean, just that is so bad.
Speaking of nails in the coffin, the Ravens
Uh-oh.
destroyed the Jets 24-9.
Jeez.
Jeez.
Ooh. Do we even really need to talk about this game?
No.
No, just the fact that Joe Flacco finally once again did what he does best, and that's those touchdowns to Baltimore.
Well, I think the only thing entertaining I have to say about this game, or a team
Oh,
in
no.
a way, is the New York Jets. And I just want to reference the Jets. So speaking of the New York Jets, I was playing my fantasy or my franchise mode in Madden 23 yesterday. And I went in and I said, I got bored. I went to the Jets team and I put everyone's rating down to 1. Their speed on 1, their agility. They went 0-17. They only averaged 0.2 points per game, and they gave up 87.7 points a game. They stunk. And it was nothing but garbage. Every score I looked at the computer beat them 63-0.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is art imitating life.
Kevin, was one of the scores 69-0?
Hey, listen, I broke
hold on, real
down.
quick.
One of the final scores was 58-1. How can you score 1? I looked on the thing 1.
Talk about being bent over backwards.
Real quick before we move on, I just looked at the Texans schedule. Guys, if it wasn't a shit show on Sunday with this game, they played the Colts at the end of week 18.
You know what? I predict another tie.
I'm taking with the Colts by 10. No, the Texans
dear
by
God.
10.
Dear God, if it comes down to the Colts and the Texans, they better hope and pray to God above that they have
Right
a
now, they're
fighting
tied
chance.
for first. It's on. It's a possibility.
Hey, on a related note to this game, guys, on a related note to this game, we learned this week that Lamar Jackson also declined his recent contract extension offer, which was well over the $240 million mark. So apparently loyalty means nothing to him.
The only reason he declined that contract though is because only 133 million of that was guaranteed. And Lamar Jackson wants a fully guaranteed contract. And honestly, I don't blame the guy because he sure plays like he's a fully guaranteed contract. So why can't Baltimore just give it to him?
Hey, you know what?
Oh,
no, look, I'll give you a second.
You make Kevin drop his phone.
Baltimore, do you blame Baltimore for not wanting to guarantee his whole contract, though? Like, the guy runs the ball, one knee injury, and it's going to be RG3. Say I'm wrong.
Yeah.
One knee injury.
Yeah, you got a point there.
Come on, Joey. Come on.
Million to come out there and tear his ACL and his career be done.
Not only that, Joey, but one thing you're failing to realize, and I'm backing Kevin on this, sorry, bro, but no offense, but what the hell has Lamar Jackson done in the playoffs? Nothing.
What has he done with his arm? Jalen Hurts has more 300-yard passing games than Lamar Jackson. Come on now.
You guys got a point.
I would not guarantee that money.
I'll take it back.
Take it
And there's
back.
actually speculation, if it keeps on, that he'll be traded this offseason. I've seen all over Twitter. If that's the case, shit.
Oh, man.
Yeah, don't
trade him for Zach Wilson and his mom.
Come on, Cougar Hunter, we need you to come back.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Cougar Hunter, nice.
Flacco threw a
Cougar
touchdown and
Hunter.
threw a pick.
Yeah, the Cougar Hunter's busy hunting Cougars. That's why the Jets are sucking so bad right now.
Hey, even if he was on the field, the Jets would still be sucking.
He probably would have thrown more picks.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give to you the soundtrack. I give to you the soundtrack of the Jets season.
Oh, no.
Hey, you might want to play that for Dallas too, since they just lost their God savior of a quarterback for the next 2 months.
Now you might just want to play the fat lady singing because their season's fucking done.
Yep. Yep. There's two things right now that that are not possible to see right now. That is the Jets winning a Super Bowl, and
his name is John C.
moving on so we can get through the schedule because we still got the predictions to do. Real quick here, Jaguars and the Commanders. You know what? I'm not going to say nothing. I'll leave Joey to the floor to talk about that.
Hey, what can I say, man? I mean, Carson Wentz, he may have thrown 2 picks, but let me tell you, he looked sharp in that game Sunday, throwing for 4 touchdowns, over 300 yards. Antonio Gibson looked sharp. Curtis Samuel was finally able to stay healthy enough to catch a touchdown. And heck, even our rookie Jahan Dotson got a couple touchdowns. So all around amazing game by the Commanders. Yeah, we almost lost it there at the end, but we came back and won it. So let's go. 1-0, baby.
There you go. Good start for the Commanders. Anybody got any quick notes on that before we move on?
Very impressed with Trevor Lawrence. He had a 300-yard game. I mean, I told everybody he would step up this year with Doug Peterson as his coach. Pretty impressed for the second-year starter.
Yeah, very much so. And I think he does have a bright future with Doug Peterson as his coach. It's just depending on if they can get the other key pieces around him to be able to make Jacksonville not such a bad team in their division. If they can get the right pieces and the right other, like maybe integral pieces on more of the coaching area and all that, I think that team could be something very, very, could be a force. But for right now, they're doing what they can. And like I said, great performance by Trevor Lawrence. Tennessee lost this game 21-20 to the New York Football Giants.
How?
That was a shock.
How?
That's an absolute shock.
Saquon Barkley had a coming out party. I mean, the
Saquon
revenge story for
Barkley,
Barkley.
that dude was a blue freaking monster Sunday.
18 carries, 164 yards, and a touchdown. 9.1 yards per carry.
Wow.
Whew.
I mean,
Barkley,
my God,
yes.
he played so well in that game. And Tannehill wasn't great. The defense wasn't great, but my God,
Tannehill did not throw any picks at all throughout that game. So good for him. Good on him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
but still, Tannehill.
Derrick
gotta wait
Henry
for
only
them,
averaged
man.
3.9 yards per carry, 21 carries for 82 yards.
And if you're on the goal line with him, run the ball. Don't come on.
Because
For
none
real.
of the other receivers had a big game, even a more remotely good game outside of Dontrell Hilliard,
No.
who had three catches for 61 yards and 2 TDs. Outside of that, nobody had a monster game. Everybody else was like one reception 22, 3 receptions for 19. 1 catch for 13. It was not a good game on the receiving end of the ball
Not a good game at all.
for Tennessee. But I'll give Daniel Jones a lot of credit too. Daniel Jones had a pretty good game. Like I said, I believe he threw 1 pick, but he did not do 2. Yeah, he threw 1 pick, only 188 yards. But like you said, Saquon Barkley rushing was a big time target. And Saquon Barkley also had 6 catches for 30 yards.
And a receiving touchdown as well.
Yeah, the receiving touchdown as well. Sterling Shepard had 2 catches for 71 yards, and Richie James had 5 catches for 59. So
The Giants' first time being over 500 since 2016.
absolutely,
Yeah.
the Giants proved that they wanted that game more. So definitely good on them.
And
If
speaking of
you wouldn't have known
Go ahead.
better, you would assume that King Henry was playing for Big Blue and not Tennessee because of what Saquon Barkley was doing.
Yep.
He was tearing the game up. He outshined Derrick Henry times 3 running the ball. And I'm actually very impressed. I've doubted the Giants. I've called them dumpster fire. But under this new regime, it seems like their head coach is getting them boys fired up. He was on the sideline cussing Daniel Jones top to bottom. Like, he was firing him up, saying, hey, you got to make this play. You got to do this better. And the next drive, they scored the go-ahead touchdown and the go-ahead 2-point conversion. I feel like they're doing a good job. They got a good brick laid down in that foundation in New York. And I look for them to make some moves and in about 4 to 5 years kind of be back on the relevant side.
And
Yeah.
you know what, Kevin? Talking about making moves and in a different environment for a team. talk about this one. The Minnesota Vikings absolutely.
Well, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. We're not there on the schedule yet, Steven. We are gonna get to that in just a brief second. But next up is the Kansas City Chiefs absolutely decimating the Cardinals 44-21. Patrick Mahomes 30 for 39, 363 yards, 5 TDs. Travis Kelce.
He's not going to look good. I think he looked all right.
Travis Kelce, Juju Smith-Schuster, and Scantling all had great games this week, including Travis Kelce, 8 catches for 121 yards at a TD, 9 targets. Not
Very
so much
impressive.
productivity on the rushing, but with Patrick Mahomes, that's expected with a cannon arm like he has. So definitely a great game by Patrick Mahomes, who was perfect too. He had 5 TDs, no picks. So,
Man, if you had him on your fantasy team, man, you had a hell of a first week. I mean, I
had 106 points from Mahomes in one of my fantasy leagues this week.
Well, there you go. And Mahomes, I mean, we thought that, he'll still be Mahomes, but we didn't know to this degree, especially during the first game. Man, he looked amazing in this game. I mean, he was firing on all cylinders. And man, there's a no better quarterback tight end connection, like Mahomes and Kelce. I mean, those dudes are dynamite. I mean, just the way it's like they're playing catch in the backyard, and man, Arizona, I'm sorry, but this is not a good sign for their season. Kyler Murray did not look good. Their defense looked horrible. I mean, for the first 3 quarters, it was 37-7? It was over. I mean, the defense, the offensive line, the defensive line, the secondary could not get nothing going. And Murray could not get nothing going. I mean, this is not a good sign for Arizona this year.
Hey, you want to know the real discrepancy here? Listen to this.
What's that?
Total yards between passing and rushing yards.
Yep.
Kansas City had 488 yards total. Arizona, they had 282.
Oof. Almost double.
Almost double
the yard.
Like score line too.
I don't want to take away their shine because I know the Chiefs actually surprised a lot of people, but I want to see them do this against a legit defense though, because
I agree with that.
As much as they stunned some people last year, you lost Chandler Jones, you lost your number 1 corner, you essentially don't have any pass rush. We all know what makes Mahomes kind of human, and it's a good pass rush. And Arizona, they completely lack a front 7. So to watch him dice up Arizona, be a little different if I said he did it against like the Tampa Bay defense or the San Francisco defense or the LA defense or the Buffalo defense. Then I'd be like, oh yeah, that's above and beyond. But he did show a lot of people wrong that he's still Patrick Mahomes and a very, very elite quarterback. I can't wait till he gets down to playing the Chargers and divisional games, which will be this Thursday night. But we'll get that later. But we will definitely get our test this Thursday. But I'm very pleased with them. But the Cardinals, Kyler Murray without DeAndre Hopkins is essentially fucking Colt McCoy. I'm sorry, with legs. I mean, you can tell when DeAndre Hopkins is in. He's a game changer. And without Hopkins, Kyler Murray and Cliff Kingsbury look like a bunch of freaking grocery store workers trying out for a local football team. That's what they look like.
And you made a great point there, Kev, because when Hopkins is there, it boosts Murray's confidence that he can throw to any receiver, and because with him not being there, he doesn't know where to go to as far as spreading the ball around and stuff to his weapons and stuff. And that's got to change soon because, man, the schedule's not going to get any easy for Arizona.
Nope,
absolutely. Joey, any thoughts?
Well, Mahomes just had one absolute monster of a game, and Mahomes and his receivers were clicking on all cylinders. Everybody looked good out there on the offensive side of the ball, and it always after the game, it almost seems like Mahomes was saying, "Tyreek, who? I don't need him. I don't want him."
And you know what? Also, Mahomes is probably sitting there going, "Y'all taking Rodgers over me? Hold my beer." And I mean, because
Yeah.
all of the naysayers that have been putting down Mahomes, like a Sammy Watkins and even a Tyreek Hill, mind you, those two receivers won a Super Bowl with him, obviously. And I don't know why they're putting him down, because any great quarterback, like a Peyton Manning, like a Drew Brees, like a Patrick Mahomes, even a Tom Brady. Sorry, Randy. Even if you was here, I would still say it to your face. Anyways, but any great quarterback can make any receiver look good. And clearly Mahomes is one of the elite, and he can make any receiver look really good.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. Moving on real quick. The Chargers, speaking of the Chargers, they beat the Raiders 24-19.
Man, that was a close game.
That was a good
Tough
game.
game.
It was a good game.
Derek Carr, 22-37, 295 yards, 2 touchdowns, 3 interceptions thrown.
Ooh.
And see, I knew it was going to be a little rocky for the simple fact that Derek Carr was he was pushing Devontae Adams a little too much. You can't do that in the NFL. You got to hit your open guys. Adams will come open. You got to be patient. You can't do this college football or high school. You gotta be patient and let them come
17?
up.
That's insane.
17 targets. And the next person on his receiving core who had targets? Waller, 6 targets.
Damn. Hey, come on.
Wow,
Come on.
I mean,
You can't be messing with that shiny new toy too much. Come on.
I understand y'all were college teammates, but come on. At least
this ain't college defense.
Hey, this is also looking like Matthew Stafford to Calvin Johnson.
Right here, Justin Herbert, 26-34, 279, 3 TDs, no picks.
Yep. That was the difference in the game, was the picks.
My fantasy quarterback.
And one bad man.
68 points.
Nice.
Oh, he could have gave you 69. Anyway.
Yeah. Well, if they would have threw the ball on 4th and short, Brandon Staley, you don't have no damn problem going with it on 4th and goal, but you have a problem with going on 4th and short. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Exactly.
Well, you know what the next game on the docket is? It's the game that Steven referenced, and that is Green Bay and Minnesota.
Woo!
Minnesota did for me what Chicago hasn't done in the past fucking 7 or 8 years. And that is absolutely put Green Bay in their place. 23-7. Made Aaron Rodgers look like a bitch.
Yes, they did, and we absolutely loved it.
I feel good, man. I feel good after that loss.
And Kevin, you brought up
run through a brick wall after that.
Mosh pit, baby. Let's go. Yeah, you brought up, Kevin, how the culture has changed maybe with the Giants. Maybe the same thing is happening in Minnesota because a brand new coach, a brand new offensive coordinator is in Minnesota. Now that Mike Zimmer is out of the helm, and now that Kevin O'Connell is there, I think that Minnesota is front runners, and I'm feeling pretty damn good about picking the Vikings going all the way to the NFC Championship game against the Rams.
Hey, this is what Packers fans were thinking after that game, Steven.
Are you kidding me?
Kirk Cousins look good. The receivers look good. That defense looked really good. Dalvin Cook looked good. But Aaron Rodgers looked like a total, utter failure, and we loved it.
Hey, real quick, there's probably one other thing that you can play regarding the Packers game this past Sunday.
Oh, I know what it was. It was
Excellent.
No, that's not. That's not the one I'm talking about.
Actually, I don't. My brain's half fried. What's up?
It's the one from Key and Peele.
Oh,
messed up, hey, Ron.
Oh, yes, sir. I got that on fleek. You know that.
Oh my Lord!
Yeah. Here's the thing for you. Here's the thing for you, buddy. And that is this. And I quote:
"You done messed up, Aaron."
There it is.
No, but you know what? Like you said, Steven, the culture has changed. And here's the reason. We talk about the family tree of football. You got to look at offensive geniuses and why you hire them. Guys who are mentees, like Kevin O'Connell was under Sean McVay. He knows some offense. So you put him on an offense with Justin Jefferson, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen. You're going to have a high potent offense the same way. And I know we didn't talk about this game, but Miami with Mike McDaniel, who came from under Kyle Shanahan, they changed the offense. Like that offense looks silky smooth for both Minnesota and Miami. And the fact that I predicted the Minnesota would win the division as well as this game. And I also predicted something Aaron Rodgers, and we might clown him, but he told the truth. He said, listen, Justin Jefferson might be the best total offensive player in the game. He's the best receiver in the game. I called it this year. I said he's the best receiver in the game. Like he had 160 yards in the first half, just one half against Green Bay. Insane. Also, my fantasy receiver gave me like 60 more points, but I digress. But Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins put up numbers on a defense who Green Bay, everybody was projected to be a top 7 to 10 defense in the National Football League. They just diced it up like they were fucking preschool kids. Like Justin Jefferson and Kirk Cousins are going to be a problem for the NFL this year. Mark my words.
Exactly.
Yes. Any thoughts on that game, Joey, before we move on to the next one?
No, I think I'm good. I mean, you guys pretty much said it all right there.
All right, the next game is America's Game of the Week, which was the Cowboys and the Buccaneers.
Yawn. What a snooze fest that game was.
Yawn.
Yep. Let's see this much. Cowboys did not play well at all. Buccaneers played better. End of story. Next.
All right, but first, I think a certain someone named Kevin has a rant about Mike McCarthy. So why don't you go ahead and knock it out the park?
You do? Okay, let me sit back and enjoy this one. Go ahead.
Let's get Kevin a hand, shall
Mike
we?
McCarthy. I meant the little Santa Claus looking fucker that dresses up in cowboy gear on the sideline. But anyway, listen here, Dallas Cowboy fans.
Oh, here we
There's a reason you fuckers didn't score more than 3 points, even with Dak Prescott healthy. Let's just get that out of the way. Dak Prescott was healthy for primarily the whole game until the end and still couldn't score a touchdown. There's a reason for that. You go into off season, you watch all these other fucking teams get better and make moves. You watch the Rams do what they do. You watch the 49ers do what they do. You watch the Eagles do what they do. You watch the Vikings do what they do. And then what do? Oh, nothing. We let our left tackle walk and sign with the Cincinnati Bengals. You hurt your right tackle in training camp. You have no offensive line, not whatsoever, and you think you're going to block Shaquille Barrett, Levante David, Vita Vea? Are you stupid? This is a top 5 front 7 in Tampa Bay, and you can't block worth a shit. And you sitting there, and it don't matter if you had Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson. It don't matter who you had at quarterback. He don't have a fucking chance because you don't got an offensive line, and you trade your number 1 receiver, not CD Lamb. This guy wouldn't touch the shoes of Justin Jefferson, but you trade Amari Cooper for a bag of dog crap. Literally. Cleveland like, oh, here you go. We don't. Are you stupid? He has been the only productive, consistent receiver you have had in 3 years. Literally. You let what's the other Cedric Wilson? What's his name?
Yeah, you're right. Cedric Wilson.
All
Yeah.
you have is CD Lamb. Well, CD Lamb half the time can't even CD ball. And he's not he can't catch. He's not as good as Amari Cooper. And you sit there and trust in Zeke. The guy's still in the Salvation Army pot from 4 years ago. Nobody's seen him. You need to move on. Free up that money. Make Tony Pollard your quarterback. Sign some offensive line. Holy hell, you suck on offense.
And that backup lineman, he sucked. Back-to-back penalties.
You got a defense and you're putting it to waste. And I don't like the Cowboys, but I can honestly say Micah Parsons has the ability to be an impact as much as an Aaron Donald. But you're wasting his career because your offense is the only offense in the NFL that can't score a fucking touchdown. The Jaguars scored a touchdown. The Jets scored a fucking touchdown. Are you kidding me? And you think, oh, losing Dak is your only problem? Oh, okay. Watch what happens pre-Dak injury, during Dak's injury, and after Dak's injury. They'll be lucky to win 5 games this year, for crying out loud.
Oh my God.
That was a bigger mistake than going to a Domino's commercial during a Nick Gage. Ladies and gentlemen, do not ask why I have a pizza cutter in my room. Please do not. Anyways,
the guy that was trying to protect Prescott's blind side and failed miserably, keeping him flat on his back multiple times. Dude, come on. This is why you have to sign up.
And like you mentioned about Prescott, you mentioned it in the intro. Yes, Prescott had to have surgery on his thumb and will be out for 4 to 6 weeks at least.
Luckily, possibly 4 to 6 weeks. They were saying initially 6 to 8 weeks. I mean, like, the Cowboys have made yet again another boneheaded decision in the offseason when they got rid of their best receiver, like you said, Kevin, and Durant and Amari Cooper, for nothing. He's been the best. He was the best receiver on Dallas since Dez Bryant. I mean, come on.
Dak Prescott's lucky. That's the only injury he suffered, because as much as he got hit, listen, he spent more time on his back than a Kardashian. I'm sorry. I mean, good God. He was on the ground all
I bet Kanye thought that was amazing.
Holy shit. I mean, if you think Dak's injury is the only problem Dallas has, holy hell, I'm praying for you.
I mean, if we thought that Dallas losing 19-3 to the Buccaneers was bad, just imagine how it's going to get when the season keeps going, because they're done. Because Cooper Rush is not the answer as the backup quarterback. Like I said during the Pittsburgh Bengals thoughts on that game, is you have to go out and have players that are accountable, that can be just as good.
Hey, Kevin, you might as well go ahead and buy your Dallas Cowboys jersey and go out there for tryouts.
That'd burn my skin if I wore one of that damn thing. I wouldn't try out for
You'll
nothing.
get sunburnt real quick.
Damn.
Oh my God, well, that was bad.
All right, we got to move on because we're running low on time. We still have predictions. Broncos and the Seahawks. Sea Chickens won that one 17-16.
And I got a bone to pick with this game, because I listened to this entire game on Westwood One Radio last night.
All right, go, Steven.
My biggest problem with this game is that hack of a head coach, Nathaniel Hacken, or as I'm going to call him in this situation, Nathaniel Lacken. Lacking confidence, lacking common sense of trusting a guy in Russell Wilson who has, and I'm going to blow your guys' mind on these stats. Wilson in his career, 4th and 4 or 4th and 5 and 6. You get that. 4th and 5, whatever. In Wilson's career, he is 57% on 4th down. 4th and 5 to be exact. 57%. McMahon is 1 for 8 on 60 yards or more on field goals. And kickers overall are 2 of 29. 64 yards or more overall. And also last year, teams were 46% on 4th down. So by far, Russell Wilson has a better percentage on converting a 4th down in 5, at least, in that perspective. And another thing that killed Denver in this game is a couple of things. The turnovers. You mean to tell me that Russell Wilson goes from Seattle to Denver and the 1-yard line curse still happens? Turnovers again in the red zone. Not once, but twice. 2 fumbles by the Denver offense. You pissed away 14 obvious points, or possibly 10, possible 6. Who the hell knows in this situation? The fact is, you didn't put points on the board. You outgained Seattle over 200 yards, more than they did, and you still lose the game. Why? Because of turnovers, and also because, more importantly, poor clock management, like you said, Kevin, last night on Facebook. The fact that Mr. Lacken is not having the obvious common sense in his head to keep his timeouts, calling them, when it's valuable, not waiting the 20 seconds on the clock when the game is all but over and you're going in the back of your mind, oh, I'm going to call a timeout so I can get my kicker that thinks I have the confidence to kick a 64-yard field goal to win the game. I wish I was there at the game because I would rip your head off, you senseless idiot. The simple fact that you don't have the common sense, you're going back to your Jaguars days of absolutely blowing games when you had an opportunity to win the game. And it just blows my mind that Russell Wilson had an easy win in his back pocket. And Nathaniel had the audacity to do what he did to his quarterback and to that team. Because, to be honest with you, Geno Smith absolutely outplayed Russell Wilson from a yards perspective and a touchdowns perspective. And, I mean, Nathaniel Hackett absolutely threw this game away. I mean, there was a minute and 11 seconds left on the fourth quarter clock, and you run almost a full minute off the clock. I mean, I'm honestly surprised that Joe Buck and Troy Aikman weren't going, hey, what are you doing? Meanwhile, on the Colin Westwood One radio, Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner are going, dude, what are you doing? You have Russell Wilson, 4th and 5. If you go for it on 4th and 5 and you lose the game, at least you can say you tried. But he didn't do that. No. We want to go for the win. Meanwhile, you had 3 timeouts in your back pocket and you absolutely pissed the game away. And if Denver does not make the playoffs, this game is going to haunt them all season long.
You know what? You're right, Steven. And here's who I place the blame on. You got to kind of split it. Coaching, I would say the head coach, he gets 85% of the blame. The other 15, I'm going to say Russ, and I'm going to explain why. The whole game, Seattle had 14, Denver, had 14 penalties. Mm-hmm. That is a coaching. That is leadership. Like, come on, your job as a coach to make sure your offense's play is in time and called. Russell Wilson's over there trying to call a new play at 0 on the play clock.
Yep, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Then another coaching error, here's where I say, is you're over there, got your 200-pound back. Melvin Gordon's old ass running between the tackles, but your workhorse back, Javonte Williams, we're going to use him as a pass catcher. Did you know, here's an interesting stat. Javonte Williams yesterday finished as the second leader in catches in the NFL behind Cooper Kupp's 13 receptions. Javonte Williams had the second most receptions in week 1 behind Cooper Kupp. How do you want to play your 230-pound power back as a receiver? That is a coaching problem. And let's be real. Geno got off hot, yes, but Denver's defense caught up the speed. They dug in. They made some stops, got some turnovers. They shut Geno and them out in the second half. Only giving up like 3 first downs. They shut them out, held them to 0. And Seattle, the second half, 3 red zone trips at the goal line, 0 points.
Exactly.
3 points on the final one, but 3 possessions where it's turnover, 4th and short, turnover. Come on, man. That you got to punch the ball in.
And not only that, but you said it right there, Kevin. Your power back is 230 pounds. Use him to pound the rock, pound it in the end zone.
Shannon Sharp was livid with that decision. He's like, man, why you got this 235-pound stud at running back, second year, playing as a damn slot receiver? Get his ass in the backfield and the damn ball. He said, I promise you, under Mike Shanahan, we'd be running the damn ball right now. And here's my main problem. I get the coaching blunders, like you said, Steven. I'm all 100%. Sure. But here's someone brought a good point. Russell Wilson, knowing the leader he is, he's supposed to look at his rookie head coach and say, no, coach, I'm staying on the field and I'm going for it on 4th and 5. Do you think if Tony Dungy would have called a 4th and 5 kick, do you think Peyton Manning would allow that to happen?
Absolutely not.
Go for it, coach. Even Aaron Rodgers. Do you think if Matt LaFleur says we're going to kick a field goal, do you think Aaron Rodgers is going to kick a field goal? Do you think if Drew Brees is going to let Sean Payton say we're going to kick a field goal?
You think Belichick's going to do that with Brady? No. And
No,
Kevin,
there ain't no
I
fucking
failed to
way.
mention that,
Russell
Kevin, and
Wilson
thank you for
should have
bringing
had
that
the
up.
vocal
That is
leadership,
also on
bro.
Russell Wilson. I failed to bring that up, and I'm glad you brought that up because I totally forgot about that. But that's also
Yes.
partially on Russell because as a veteran quarterback of 11 years as a starting professional quarterback, he should have went to his rookie coach and said, "Hey, dude, sorry, but we're going for it on 4th and 5. So we can get the first down, and I can get McMahon a better kick, maybe a 50-plus yarder. It's still not a guaranteed kick, but I'd rather take chances on a 50-yard kick than a 64-yard kick."
And especially the way field goal kickers were in week 1, you can't trust that.
No.
You've seen the stat. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I would much rather call a QB draw up the middle with Russell Wilson or an option play than to damn do anything with that kicker. And I know he's got a big leg, but just the fact that Denver, they showed they got talent. They showed potential. Coaching is holding them back. They were able to move the ball up and down the field on Seattle with ease. Their offense is going to be good. You can see it. Their defense is already good. You can see it. But coaching and clock management have completely poisoned anything that Russell Wilson did last night. Russell should have said, look, 4th and 5 against my old team and my old coach, I want to shove it in Pete Carroll's face. I want this fucking ball. We're going to win. But instead, no, I'm going to listen to a rookie coach and let him kick the field goal. Man, no, you don't do that. Peyton Manning was even mad on the Manning cast, screaming at his own TV for a timeout with a minute left. He was like, why the hell ain't calling a timeout, Eli? Call a timeout. He was yelling. He didn't understand it.
And plus, keep in mind real quick, before we move on to our predictions, I think the Denver Broncos, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the Broncos became the first team in NFL, or became the first team in NFL history. Shut up, Ezra. But I think they became the first team in NFL history to run not one, but 2 plays from the 1-yard line and lose a fumble both times.
Right.
I just want to know where they found this head coach. Since Walmart bought them out, did they find the head coach on the great value aisle, like on the clearance section somewhere?
No, actually, he was a car pusher that they hired. He's a car pusher they hired, and they gave him a Football for Dummies book out of the library from the nearest library in Denver. All right, guys, we got to get going on these predictions. We're getting close to we got about 40 minutes. So let's roll through these, guys. We got a lot to talk about.
Hang on, but before we go on to our week 2 predictions, I got to say the winner from our prediction battle last week.
Who was that?
It was a very, very close battle, but the one who won the prediction battle last week is the one and only yours truly.
Yeah, you.
I went 12-4 over predictions last week. Kevin and Steven both tied with 11-5.
Of course I'm in last place. Let's go.
Ezra, you actually went 10-6. And
well, we know Randy's tanking for Tom Brady. He wants that Tom Brady jersey.
And Randy went 8-8.
Dallas Cowboys right there. 8-8.
Wow.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
moving on to our week 2 predictions. Let's
do it, guys. That was great. And I forgot about those.
Yep, keeping score.
Good job, Joey, on that, man. Good job. All right, here we go. Next one. All right, here we go. First game on the docket, Thursday Night Football, Chargers and the Chiefs.
This is going to be a good one. This is going to be a good one.
And it's going to take place at Arrowhead Stadium, so I'll just let you know that.
Yep.
So.
Just because the game is in Kansas City, so I'm going to give the edge to Kansas City in this one.
Okay.
It's gonna be close. It's gonna be close. I'm gonna say 34-28.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do something similar. I think I'm gonna go 31-28. It'll be close.
Let's see. I will say that Randy, for his pick, he picked the Chefs over the Bolts 50-49.
Chefs.
Wow.
What is he picking? What Chefs and Bolts? What the fuck? It's Chefs and Bolts. Who's the chefs? Guy Fieri and Alice Cornicelli. Fucking Bobby
You know what?
Flay. What is Emeril Lagasse the head coach?
You know what?
Bam!
I'm gonna pick against the grain here because that's the only way you can win these prediction battles. I'm going with the Chargers 32-30.
Wow.
Hey, I will say though, the one game that vaulted me to victory last week was me being the only one to pick Cleveland over Carolina.
See, sometimes you gotta pick it different and see what the results are.
Yep.
Man,
Absolutely.
I am torn on this. I am torn on this because, like, on one hand, I agree with you, Joey, but then on the other hand, with Kevin, I get what he's saying. But you know what? I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I'm gonna go with Kansas City. I'm gonna go in a close one. I'm gonna go 34-30 on a game-winning touchdown pass.
Hey, there we go.
Okay.
Okay.
Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes throws 4 touchdowns. Herbert throws 3.
I'm going against the grain for the reason that after what I seen from Khalil Mack last week, Ezra's boy, 3 sacks. That's going to get to Mahomes' head. Him and Bosa healthy. There ain't too many games where they'll both be healthy, but them two healthy is proven to be a damn problem.
Yep, absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Next game, first game on the 12 on the 1 p.m. Eastern side of things, and that is the Ravens and the Dolphins at M&T Bank Stadium in Baltimore.
Oh wait, real quick before you go on, Ezra. Joey, did you give Randy's score?
Yeah.
The chef.
50 to 49.
Okay.
50-4. Get the fuck out of here with that nonsense.
Okay, I'll start this one out fresh. It's pretty simple to me. Give me Miami. I think Miami's offense is unstoppable right now. I mean, watching Tua grow and watching Waddle and Tyreek Hill do damage under Mike McDaniel, I'm going to go with the Dolphins. I think it's going to be semi-close. Give me the Dolphins 31-24.
I'm going to go with Miami in this one. I'm going to go Miami 27-20.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Miami as well. I'm gonna go Miami. It's gonna be 30-23.
Ooh.
All right. Randy is actually picking Baltimore over Miami 27-20.
Wow,
Okay.
same score as me, but it obviously different team winning.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Miami as well. I mean, Miami, they look pretty darn good last week against New England. So give me Miami in this one. Let's go 27-21.
All right.
All right.
Next game on the schedule is the best game of the week.
Not this again.
And the Browns.
What's the game again? The Browns and who?
The Jets.
Jets.
Oh my God.
Start.
We're
Start.
screwed on it. We're screwed on this one. Somebody's got to win. Somebody's got to lose.
Can we just put it as a 3-3 tie and get it over with?
Maybe.
No. In reality, you know what? I gotta go with. This is tough, man.
It's a shit show either way, so we're screwed anyways.
It ain't
All right,
Carolina.
in that case, I'll start this one off with Randy.
Go for it.
Randy, he says the Clowns versus the Jets.
No, Lord.
He's saying no one wins, especially the fans, but he's making Cleveland 24-10.
Okay.
Okay.
Anybody else?
I got the Browns easily 20-10.
I got Cleveland. I'm going to go 21-10.
You know what? I'm the exact same score as Steven, 21-10.
All right, I think I'm going to go 28-6.
Ooh. Wow. Okay.
This is a slap in the face to Jets fans, and I love every single minute of it. You know what? They get the touchdown, but they missed the kick on that. All right, the next game is your Washington Commanders, Joey, taking on the Detroit Lions at Ford Field.
You know, I'm going to go and start this one off. Let's see, Randy is picking the Commanders 24-17. But honestly, after what we saw from Detroit this past Sunday against Philly, I'm a concerned. I'm a little worried. I think Detroit might actually get us, but do I think it's going to happen? Hopefully not. But I'm going to say my Commanders in this one. Let's see. I'll go 31-23.
Okay. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because, like you said, the Commanders are coming off a huge win. Detroit barely lost that game, but they played excellently on last weekend. So you know what? I'm gonna go against the grain on this one. I'm gonna pick Detroit.
Wow.
But it's gonna be another close one. It's gonna be another razor thin close game. And here's my score prediction. Listen to this. 30-28.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
Kind of matched yours, Ezra. Mine's one off. I got Detroit winning 30-27, and they get a defensive stop to end the game.
You know what? I'm right. I'm feeling a little Detroit. I'm gonna go with Detroit. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go 28-27 on a game-winning field goal.
Wow. All
Okay.
right.
Next game on the docket is the Buccaneers and the Saints, of course, taking place at the Superdome.
Ooh. That's gonna be a good
That's
one.
tough.
It's tough.
That's a tough one.
It is. It's going to be tough, but of course, I'm going to ride with TB12 and Tom Brady. You know, you can't go wrong with him in a lot of cases. I'm going to go with, and I know Randy hates it with a passion. That's why I'm going for it too, so I can just get him all riled up, brother. But you know what? To be honest, though, this is going to be a tough game. But this is Tom Brady we're talking about. And then I know any good quarterback can have a bad day. Excuse me. But I'm going to go with them, Tampa Bay. It's going to be a good surefire game. I'm going to go 31. I'm going to go 31-27.
Ooh.
Okay.
A little bit of high scoring game, but I think it'll be a close one though.
It's a tough
All right,
one.
So Randy is obviously picking New Orleans because he can't
Obviously.
to save his life. He's picking New Orleans. He's picking New Orleans 24-17.
Okay.
This gonna be a good game. I'm gonna go off and say that normally numbers show that Tom Brady cannot beat the Saints. He's 0 in the regular season the last 3 years against the Saints. I think it changes this year because difference is those years he didn't have Atlanta look like Julio Jones, which he looks like 2016 Julio. I think that's the difference. I'm going Bucs. I'm going to think it's a defensive struggle, but I'm going to go Bucs 23-20.
You know what, Kevin? My same exact score. Tampa Bay 23, New Orleans 20.
All right.
All right. So I'm going with Tampa Bay on this one too. You know what? Give me Tampa Bay 24-21.
Ooh.
Yeah. Sorry if you saw me throw my hands up in the air. That was the New York Jets quarterback dropping the ball. No, I dropped my phone. Moving on to the next one is the this should be an easy one. This should be an easy one for all of us. The Carolina Panthers and the New York Giants.
Oh, dear God. Dear God. After the week I had last week, picking Carolina against Cleveland, you know what? I don't feel any sympathy for Carolina this week. I'm sorry. It's up to me, New York. New York all the way. That's right. 24-14.
Football Giants, 21-10.
I'm going to say New York Football Giants 20-5 against Carolina.
Wow.
All right. Let's see. Let me find his score. Okay. Randy's saying the Giants 24-20. I'm gonna say Giants 31, Carolina 13.
All right. Okay. Next one up is the Patriots and the Steelers, of course, at whatever the new arena is in Pittsburgh.
All
don't care what it is. To me, it'll always be Heinz Field. That's okay. Who wants to lead this off? This one is
I'll go ahead and lead this one off. Randy actually had me rolling with his one. With this one, he was saying the Pats versus Pittsburgh, and he's also going. And of course, he also called them the Squealers. So he said the Squealers are going to win 21-17.
I'm going to go with Pittsburgh because I do not trust the Patriots offense in this one. I mean, Mac Jones is having back spasms and he's injured already, banged up a little bit. And I really think he's going through that sophomore slump, guys. And I'm going to go with Pittsburgh. I'm going to go Pittsburgh 20-16.
I'm actually going to follow suit. I think Mac Jones is highly overrated. He's been overrated. He's been carried by the Patriots defense last year. The Patriots don't have that no more. Give me Pittsburgh 17-13.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Pittsburgh as well. I'm gonna go Pittsburgh 20-14.
All right, so my score is going to be almost like Kevin's. Give me Pittsburgh 17-14.
And here's the thing is, I'm not thinking of these scores ahead of time. This is all straight off the cuff, looking at the schedule.
Exactly. Yep.
That's the way I like doing this. I like doing this off the schedule, off the cuff. I hate doing it ahead of time because to me,
it doesn't sound organic. Exactly.
Yeah, it ruins the spontaneity of it all.
Because you know it sound like on those pick segments how they already had their scores typed up. No, off the top of your head, go for it.
Yep.
Absolutely. You always gotta go for it, gents.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next one, which is the Falcons and the Rams at SoFi Stadium.
Oh God, this is
Atlanta. I feel so bad for you that you had an opportunity to get a golden ticket of a victory last week and you flat out blew it against your arch nemesis, the Saints. And for that, you get a pissed off Rams team, and they're going to absolutely blitz you. That's right, 34-7.
Oh. All right. Randy is saying the Rams 27-14. And I'm gonna say the Rams 38-10.
I'm gonna say it'll be a little closer. I still don't know what to see from the Rams offense yet. Like they're not in a rhythm. I still think they're good enough to win. I'm gonna say 25-17 Rams.
Oh, that's an odd score. I like it.
Okay. All right. That's gonna be a tough one. I'm gonna go with the Rams. I'm going with the Rams in this one. I'm gonna make it. It's gonna be 28. It's gonna be 28-20.
Oh, I like it.
Yeah, definitely. The next game up is a game you're interested in, and of course that is the Seattle Seahawks taking on the San Francisco 49ers. Where else?
Levi
Stadium, baby.
Oh, well, the weather's going to be nice.
No rain.
You're going to have it. I'll start this one off. You're going to have a pissed off 49ers defense who know they let this last week slip away. And I don't think Geno Smith is not going to be Patrick Mahomes. Geno Smith is going to be Geno Smith. The 49ers going to bounce back big. Give me the 49ers 23-13. I don't think Geno throws for more than 120, 130 in the game. You got Bosa's going to tee off on him. I just don't. Trey Lance going to look pretty solid with George Kittle back. Yeah, Give me the Niners 23-13.
You know what? I'm going to go with San Francisco 23-10.
I'm going to go San Fran in this one. I'm going to go San Fran 27, Seattle 14.
Okay.
27-13. 49ers.
And let's see, Randy. Let me find his score real quick. Where is it? Oh, here it is. He's picking Seattle 21-19.
Ooh.
The Sea Chicken. And you know he's tanking. He wants that Tom Brady jersey really, really, really bad.
He wants it so bad so he can burn it. He can burn
I
it.
guess I might as well go ahead and pre-order it on NikeShop.com for him.
Hey, Ezra, before we move on, I think we missed a 1:00 game.
Did we? No,
Yeah,
no, we
because
talked.
I've
No,
seen
we did Panthers, Giants, we did Bucs and Saints. We haven't gotten to that yet.
Colts and Jaguars.
Oh yeah, it's Jacksonville. Who cares?
That's going to be a good one. And you know what? I'll start this one off real quick. I'm going
If I didn't
upset
have to
alert.
work, I'd be drunk during the whole game.
I'm going to go upset alert. Upset alert. I'm
Whoa.
going to say Jacksonville shocks the Colts 23-20.
Wow.
I don't trust the Colts right now. I've seen more out of
Wow.
Trevor Lawrence than I've seen out of anybody in Indianapolis without Shaquille Leonard.
Oh,
Man, I don't even know how to follow that, man. Come on.
I'm sorry, Kevin, but I gotta go against you, man. I mean, the Colts, they're expecting Shaquille Leonard to come back this week, so expect him to completely just feast on the Jaguars' offensive line. But it's gonna be a close one. Give me the Colts 31-27.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with. Oh, go ahead.
Randy's
Sorry.
saying Colts. Randy's saying Colts 17-16.
I'm gonna go with the Colts in this one. I'm gonna go with the Colts 20-13.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna go with you know what? I'm gonna go with Kevin on this one. I'm gonna pick Jacksonville.
Wow.
But here's the
Wow.
score. Here's the score.
9-6.
No, not that. I was actually gonna pick 7-6, but I changed my mind on that. I'm gonna give this 13-10 Jacksonville.
Ooh.
Okay.
I'll give the Colts a shot here. Okay, now that we got that out of the way, on to the next game. The Bengals and the Cowboys.
Oh
Cow
no.
AT&T Stadium in good old Dallas, Texas.
Oh, I bet Dallas wishes they were in Tennessee right now because the Bengals are gonna whip that ass. It's gonna be 35-14.
you know what? I'll give Dallas a slight break. I'll go 34-13.
I'm going to give Dallas a little break. I think they stay competitive. No, I don't. I'm just bullshitting. Fuck that. It's going to be Cincinnati 27, Dallas 3. They don't score a touchdown.
Ow. Again, no touchdowns.
Again, week 3, and they ain't scored an offensive touchdown yet.
Wow. No sympathy for the Cowboys.
All right. So Randy is
Allow
going
me to-
35.
Myself, I'm a man of wealth and taste.
All right, Randy's going 35-10 Bengals. But
Damn.
my score is actually going to be unbelievable. You guys
Oh,
ready
how
for this?
so? How so?
All right, so no Dak Prescott. Zeke's still going to be sleeping in that Salvation Army pot. CeeDee Lamb ain't going to be worth 2 flying farts.
And CD ball.
That's still the greatest line of the show, by the way.
CD ball.
And the offensive line is going to be absolute garbage. And Cincinnati, coming off an embarrassing loss over Pittsburgh, they're going to come out hungry. They're going to come out mad. They're going to come out fighting. Give me the Bengals 31-0.
Wow. Wow.
31-0. That defense is going to be mad come Sunday.
Damn.
Wow.
Damn. That's rough.
Very rough.
That is absolutely rough. Oh no. I was reading about the stat line for the Jets for the next 4 games. Sorry. As you know, I'm the Jets more than I am the Cowboys just because I can. But let's see here. The next game on the list is the Texans and the Broncos.
Oh, Where do I even go with this?
Yeah.
Hey,
Randy-
let's have Nathaniel Hackett. Let's let him kick on 62 yards again.
Let's do that. Let's do that when the game is tied in overtime, and it'll be another tie for the Texans.
Ouch.
Hey, but Randy is going to go with the Donkeys on a Brandon McManus 65-yard field goal, 17-14.
Motherfucker.
I'm just kidding, but no, he did say 17-14.
I'm going to go with Denver in this one, in a close one. I'm going to go 21-17.
I got a good.
Give me Denver 14-10.
Ooh.
I got one. Best situation of the night. Give me Denver 21-20 on a block extra point.
Wow.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. You know what? I'm gonna give this one. This is a tough one. I'm gonna give it to, I think, man. I'm gonna go with the Texans on this one.
Wow.
Oh.
I just don't trust Russell Wilson in this new system yet. I think there's a lot of kinks that still got to be worked out.
Yep.
I feel like Russ has got to really gel with the team. And Nathaniel Hackett's got to not fucking kick 62, try to get his kicker to kick 2 yards when there's a game on the line, you fucking moron. But anyways, dude, there's better fucking decisions in Vince McMahon's regime with WWE than there was in the fucking organization.
Exactly.
But anyways,
Yeah, and look
look.
where Vince McMahon is now.
Yeah, that's where Nathaniel Hackett's gonna end up too.
Yep.
Retired. No, I'm gonna
Fired.
I'm gonna go with Denver on, or no, like I said, Houston. Score 20-17.
Ooh.
Okay.
Next game. Cardinals and the Raiders
Yeah, I think
at Allegiant
think it-
Stadium in Las Vegas.
I think it's easy to see who Randy's picking in this game.
And by the way,
Um,
that's the last game of the 425 starts.
yeah, I think Randy's saying Oakland over St. Louis. We all know how Randy is. He's saying Oakland 31-17.
What an asshat.
I'm going to go with the Vegas Raiders, not the Oakland Raiders. Thanks, Randy. I'm going to go with the Raiders in this one. I'm going to go 30-17.
I'm gonna go with the Raiders for this one also. I think they're gonna rebound. Give me the Raiders 28-21.
Give me the give me that John Gruden squad. Give me them for, I'm gonna say 24-15. Raiders.
Wow, another odd score.
2-point conversion to actually get in garbage time.
Well, we are odd people, so odd scores are tend to happen.
All right, Ezra, who you got?
This is gonna be a tough one, but Arizona, like you said, just absolutely just doesn't have anything right now.
No.
Especially with DeAndre Hopkins not playing. So, I gotta go with the Raiders. I'm gonna go with the Raiders 20. I'm gonna go Raiders 24, Cardinals 13.
Okay.
All right. Next game, Sunday Night Football. One of the oldest rivalries in all of sports, the Bears and the Packers at Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin.
All right, I'm gonna start this one off.
Hey, by the way, just to let all Bears fans know before you go there, be sure to be prepared to bring extra cash because you will have to pay Lambeau tax on anything you buy in Green Bay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which I call
so-
bullshit. Fuck you and your fucking stadium, you cheesehead motherfuckers.
Yep.
So Randy's going 20 to 17 Packers.
Fuck you.
So
Oh, by the way, just to let you
so-
know, Randy Garver will no longer be appearing on this show. He will join the show with John Blaine and Kevin, whatever his other fucking name is. Oh, wait, that's right. They don't have a sports show.
All right, so
Wow.
here's my analysis.
I'm in a rare mood. I don't know what it is.
Here's
Maybe too
my,
much Code Red, brother.
No, that actually makes me happy.
All right, so here's my analysis. Green Bay has no playmakers on offense. A
You
running
still have
game.
Aaron Rodgers.
A running game who can't figure out who the number one running back is going to be between Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon. And Chicago, they have an up and coming team. They got a quarterback who actually has some playmakers around him based on what we saw this past Sunday. So I can't believe I'm actually doing this. I know Aaron Rodgers has owned Chicago in the past, but Ezra, this one is for you, brother. Give me Chicago in this one. Give me Chicago. I'm going to go Chicago 24, Green Bay 17.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Who's up next? Just to let you know, you're on the show for a reason.
I'm actually going
I
to
can't fire.
Chi-Town,
I
but
can
not,
only talk to you two. I can't fire Steven. He's the one who created this damn.
I mean, yeah, I am. The reason I'm going Chi-Town is because Chicago just has better playmakers than Green Bay does at this point.
Okay, fair. Kevin.
I think it's going to be a good game, a close game, a hard fought game. I'm going, and here's my situation to it. I think Chicago has a lead, 22-21 going in the fourth. I think we all know how this goes. The refs are in Aaron Rodgers' back pocket. They get a bullshit call to put them in field goal range that otherwise would have ended the game. Mason Crosby hits. Give me, at the last second, give me 24-22 Packers on some bullshit by the referees.
You know what? I hate to agree with Kevin on the bullshit part with this. That's why I'm going with Green Bay, because the NFL knows they can't have Green Bay going down 0-2. I'm going to go with Green Bay on a game-winning field goal by Crosby. I'm going to go 24-23.
Okay.
Yeah, fuck the referees. Fuck Aaron Rodgers. Fuck Green Bay. Chicago all the way. Come on, give me a fucking break. Yeah. I mean, seriously though, Aaron Rodgers could have a good game and he could absolutely destroy us. It's happened in the past with any set of teams that he's had, but like you said, his offense is not what it used to be. It's completely rebuilt. It's not exact. Doesn't seem like he's gelling with the team that he has right now. And I'm gonna go Chicago, not just on faith in being a team, it's my team, but also because I feel like this is not the Green Bay of old that used to dominate us. This is a newly rebuilt Green Bay team who's going to take a year or two to learn how to play like that. So I'm going to go Green Bay, or I'm going to go Chicago. It's going to be very razor thin, 24-23.
Wow.
Wow,
Me.
okay.
Bears get it. Bears get the ball. And they're able to stop They're able to stop Aaron Rodgers in that 2-minute offense that he's known for absolutely shredding teams with. If you know this better than anybody, Kevin, that when Aaron is most dangerous in that 2-minute offense, when he gets that ball, you better have your defense ready because he will throw passes down the middle. He'll throw them down your throat until he gets to that goal line. Either he gets it or they send Mason Crosby out there for the game winner.
Yeah, you best be blowing them out before 2 minutes in the fourth to beat
And
them.
that's what my dad always said.
You gotta blow them out.
He always said you gotta be up by at least 1 to 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, oh definitely.
Before you could do that. So yeah, it's gonna be a close one.
But then again, that's also when Aaron Rodgers had Greg Jennings, Jordy Nelson, and Devontae Adams in his back pocket.
All right. let's move on because there's actually 2 games on Monday Night Football this week.
Mm-hmm.
2 games. We got the Tennessee Titans and the Buffalo Bills over in Buffalo. So, speaking of Buffalo, real quick, non-football note, congratulations to Buffalo's own Danny Garcia in AEW on winning the ROH Pure Championship last Wednesday on Dynamite. Anyway,
Great match last week.
yeah, great match last week. All right, back to the game.
All right.
Who's got the scores on this one? Joey, want to lead us off?
Randy's going Buffalo 28-21. You know what? I'm actually going to pick that same score, 28-21. No,
Okay.
actually, no. Give me Buffalo 31-21.
I
Go ahead, Kevin.
I see Buffalo's defense too stout. If they can't score on the fucking Giants, I don't think they score more than 2 scores on Buffalo. Give me the Bills in an absolute rout, 33-13.
I'm going to go Buffalo because you know what? I agree with Kevin. I do not trust this Titans offense to muster any points on the board against this Bills team. I'm going to go Buffalo 31-10.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Buffalo on this one, 31-10.
Okay.
All right, next game or final game, shall we say?
The last game, and this was going to be an absolute barn burner. I can get all that now.
I love this game.
Eagles and the Vikings.
I absolutely love this game.
Randy's
You know
picking, Randy's
Oh,
picking
go ahead.
Philly 28-24.
Who's he got?
Philly.
Philly.
You know what? I'm riding the best player in the league right now. I'm riding Jay Jettis. I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a duel between A.J. Brown and Jay Jettis, but I'm going to pick Captain Kirk and Jay Jettis to come out on top. 35-32. Game winning.
Ooh.
Dude, it's gonna be a tough one because you had Philly who had that close game but came out winners. I think you have Kirk Cousins and like you said, the other players who are all riding a hot hand coming off that shocking win over Green Bay last week. You know, coming off that's a big thing because that was a divisional rival game, and that usually Green Bay owns Minnesota, but once again, we saw where it ended up. So, you know what? I got to go with Kirk Cousins. I got to go with Captain Kirk on this one. And it's going to be 34-31 Minnesota.
That's exactly what I was going to predict was 34-30. Now, you know what? I'm going to go Minnesota on a game-winning touchdown. 38-31.
Nice.
All
Okay.
right, so
Captain Kirk to Justin Jefferson.
I'm gonna go ahead and end this next week of prediction battles off with a Minnesota win. But check out my score: 36-33.
Wow, what a game-winning field goal.
Yep.
All right.
All right, so let's see. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
While Joey's counting, we'd also like to say, I don't know. I don't have nothing else to say right now. Trying to come up with something clever, but you know what? It's too late in the evening. I'm hungry. You know, we're still riding this show, baby.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, but great predictions by you guys. This was fun. As always, another week in the books on the predictions. May the best person win the predictions battle, but may the best teams win this week, except for the Jets.
Yes.
I want to keep burning.
And the Panthers.
There's no Jets fans watching the show, so I'm just going to keep ripping into them all night long.
And the Panthers.
All right, so we actually got a uptick in changed outcomes this week. We had 6 last week. We got 9 this week.
Okay. Very nice. All right. Any other? Let's see, real quick from our good friend, Mr. Well, not our friend, but he barely even knows we exist in the world. Adam Schefter. Real quick before we get into some last minute news notes. addressing his decision to attempt a game-winning 64-yard field goal last night. Broncos head coach Nathaniel Hackett told reporters, looking back at it, we definitely should have gone for it.
Well, you had one job, one opportunity, and you flat out blew it.
Yeah.
Here we go. 49ers are signing former Texans running back Marlon Mack to their practice squad, per source.
Hmm.
The 49ers also officially placed Elijah Mitchell on the injured reserve list.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately on that front. Good news on the front for the Steelers. Linebacker TJ Watt does not need surgery on his torn pectoral muscle.
Yep.
He will only miss 6 weeks. So we also got says right here that on 105.3 The Fan that Cowboys will not put Dak Prescott on injured reserve. That's from Jerry Jones. And he thinks that his injured quarterback could return within the next 4 games. Other injury notes, real quick. Seahawks player Jamal Adams suffered what is being described as a serious, possibly season-ending quad injury. So not good for him on that front.
No.
Let's see. There was a lot of other unfortunately. They said that scans on Mac Jones's back came back normal and it's not to be serious. The team will monitor and gauge how Jones is feeling this week before Sunday's game versus Pittsburgh.
Yep.
Ravens lost Kyle Fuller to a torn ACL. He's done for the year. And so did the Eagles. They lost their defensive end, Derek Barrett, to a torn ACL as well.
A lot of injuries. A lot of bad injuries.
Yeah, unfortunately, of course, we mentioned Dak Prescott. He's out. He's out for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Chris Godwin, he had a hamstring injury. He's going to be out for who knows how long. Just a bunch of different concussion issues on several other players. Yeah, it's a very, very bad week for injuries. T. Higgins, he's out with a concussion for the Bengals. So yeah, it's a rough week, but I mean, it plays on, and this week should be good.
And week 1 was just crazy. I mean, all the close games and man, it was insane. All the close games, a tie. I mean, we're just getting started, folks. I mean, just like the madness is only beginning.
Absolutely, and we're not even in March yet.
We're in.
Nope.
Yeah, we still in for a wild ride, ladies and gentlemen. So buckle up and grab your popcorn because it's going to be a doozy.
Yep.
Absolutely. Joey, you and Kevin are more of the college football experts in this room. How did last week go?
Well, I will say though, as far as my Alabama boys, we came out absolutely shaky. But
Yankee or Shake? Yeah.
We were able to walk out of Austin, Texas with a struggle win over the Longhorns, 20-19 on the game-winning field goal. But then again, Texas had the referees in their back pocket. They penalized Alabama 15 times for 100 yards.
Wow.
Alabama just looked absolutely shaky. And we knocked Quinn Ewers out the game for 4 to 6 weeks after a hit to the shoulder. But hey, a win is a win no matter how you get it. So
exactly.
I'm happy they walked out of there with a dub, and I'm looking forward to us having a cupcake game this upcoming week against Louisiana Monroe before we start SEC conference play.
Yep. Definitely. Sounds good for your Alabama. Roll Tide. Outside of that, I really don't have anything else. Real quick on the baseball front, though, real quick before I say anything about the last thing I want to discuss, and of course that is baseball front right now. Speaking of baseball, your Atlanta Braves are only a game and a half back out of the NL East.
There was a time where we actually had the Mets by half a game, but then we had to struggle towards the end of the week, losing 2 out of 3 to the Mariners and then losing last night to San Fran. So hopefully we can pick it back up tonight because we got our 17-game winner, Kyle Wright, on the mound. So hopefully he can get the job done for us.
Yep, absolutely. The Dodgers have clinched their playoff berth, of course.
No surprise.
Yep, no surprise they did that. That is, of course, that's what's going on as far as the league goes right now. Of course, Houston leads the AL right now, 6 games ahead of the Yankees.
Let's see, and I'm
Houston
telling you right
playing
now,
on-
the Braves, based
Houston
on how
has 54% winning percentage right now.
everything is going right now, the Braves had better gain a game on the Mets tonight because right now I'm looking at it in the top of the 6th in New York, I should say. The Cubs are beating the Mets 3-0.
Wow.
Wow.
And the Cubs actually beat the Mets last night. So if
Yep,
the Cubs
they
win
did.
this one, they'll take the series from New York.
Yep.
Yep, and you know the Mets fans, especially our very own Mongrovian Mike Elder, he's
He
not going
was losing his mind last night. Like, come on, man! Like, we're down
to be
5-0.
losing his mind again tonight because right now with that 3-0 lead, still like you said in the 6th, so there's plenty of time to make some ground. And of course, like you said, the Dodgers push their playoff berth and they lead the National League with the Mets behind them and then Braves right behind them. So it's good. It's tightly contested still. There's still plenty of ball to play coming up. Also, I want to mention before we get out of here is, of course, what happened at the UFC pay-per-view this past weekend. The whole controversy around that. Kazmat Chimaev, who was scheduled to face Nate Diaz in the main event of this past UFC pay-per-view, he was 10 pounds, up to 10 pounds overweight. So, luckily, they had a sub on standby in former title contender Tony El Kukui Ferguson, who went and fought Nate Diaz. And it went to the 4th round before Nate Diaz choked him out on a guillotine choke in what may be Nate Diaz's final fight as a UFC fighter. Especially on 15 fight, he had I think 15 wins, 27 fights total in the UFC, multiple fight of the night, and submission of the night, performance of the night bonuses over his career. One of the great legends of the UFC, despite all the chaos that goes around him and his brother. He says that in an interview that he is going to go take on another sport, maybe one that Conor McGregor couldn't do anything with. That alluding to, of course, boxing, which is, of course, in the blood of the Diaz brothers, Nick and Nate both. So all the best to Nate Diaz. He says he wants to come back to the UFC and win the title that he didn't get to. So he definitely wants that title belt eventually. But for right now, his MMA career is on hold to possibly go into the world of professional boxing.
That's crazy. Like I know 10 pounds overweight is not a huge thing, but it's not a huge discrepancy as far as like compared to what Diaz was. But come on.
Well, 10 pounds overweight. We know the rules of the UFC. This is what happened with Charles Oliveira.
Correct.
But where Charles Oliveira differences to compare to this was a non-title fight. This was a non-title main event fight. You could be up to a half pound overweight before they have to make some sort of decision. Right. He was up to 10 pounds overweight, which is a huge discrepancy in the eyes of the UFC. If you're a 155er and you're fighting a guy that's 10 pounds overweight,
he's got a exactly. Yeah,
yes, you do put on weight after the weigh-ins are over. You usually rehydrate, you usually eat good, you usually get those pounds back on quickly, but it's only a few pounds. It's not 10, 15 pounds.
Right.
Unfortunately, Chimaev could not cut weight, and he, whatever reason, could be health related. He just wasn't prepared. Maybe he didn't have a good regiment over the past couple weeks to cut those pounds. But in the end, you always gotta be fight ready.
Right, exactly. Do what you gotta do. Do what you gotta do to keep that weight off.
Absolutely, all the best to Nate Diaz if he goes into boxing. All the best to him. Make the MMA world proud, man. There's not many MMA fighters who went into boxing, if any at all, who have been successful. So all the best to you, Nate.
Yep.
But I think that about wraps up the show. Anybody got any last minute talking points they want to get in as we get ready to go?
I think I'm good.
All right, let's move on. All right, guys, let's close out the show as we usually do. Final thoughts. Joey, you're up, buddy.
Another great show with you guys. Great analysis on the predictions and great analysis on the recap from last week. Looking forward to another weekend of football. And all I got to say is enjoy some football because it's going to be coming. It's going to be coming in heavy. Hey, Ezra, you're on mute.
I had to mute because I was pulling up the outro video. I didn't want it to blare through the speakers.
Awesome.
Yeah. Kevin, final thoughts?
Looking forward to another great week 2 matchup in the NFL and some more NBA news as well coming out, and just all things sports coming out this week, and ready to bring it back to you next week. I hope everybody has a good rest of the week and enjoy some football.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Steven, you know the drill. Close it out, brother.
Man, what a great show with you guys talking about all things football, a little bit of baseball, a little bit of, basketball news and stuff. And football, y'all have a great weekend and enjoy some more football. And as of right now, I not only doing this show with y'all, but I've been listening to the Red Hot Chili Peppers show live from the Apollo Theater in New York City.
Where's that at, Steven? Is it on Sirius XM?
It is. It's on Red Hot on Red Hot Chili Peppers on radio station. That's called One Whole Lot of Red Hot. It is being streamed live to the entire world to listen to on Sirius XM. And man, it's been a great. It's been a great show. Great show.
All right.
But enjoyed the show with y'all tonight, talking about all things football, like I said, and just looking forward to all the great games that's coming up this weekend. And man, just football's back. And if you thought week 1 was nuts, it's going to be even more crazier next week. Ezra, you have to wrap this up, my friend. Do it.
Yes, I do, man. All right. Thank you to everybody who watched this week. Of course, shout outs to Big T, Elder, and of course, big shout out to the Nation's Corner crew, all of them, which of course, don't forget, Nation's Corner this Saturday, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, youtube.com/the Nation's Corner. Follow them on all their socials as well. This week's show should be a very, very great show. We're going to be covering, of course, the lead up to Grand Slam. We're going to be covering up Raw, SmackDown, NXT, and everything else in between. And it should be a great, great show. Don't forget also to follow my cosplay crew, Too Sweet Cosplay, on all of our socials. We'll be sharing cosplays throughout the next couple months as we get prepared for C2E2 2022, which will take place March 31st through April 2nd, which is, of course, the same weekend as WrestleMania. Also, don't forget to follow this channel, of course, youtube.com/Our Nation Sports Show and all of our socials, which will be listed at the bottom of this video. So, for Kevin Rory, for Joseph Thornton, for Randy Gyron, and for Stephen Wyand, I am Ezra Vickery, and we will see you right here next week with another great edition of Our Nation Sports Show. Take care, everybody, and have a great weekend. Enjoy the football. Go Bears, go 49ers, and for Stephen, go Panthers.
Sir.